Greetings, Commanders. Alright, I'm back in the beta with my Anaconda. I've been doing a little bit more experimenting with the shield boosters and stuff and the changes. I got onto the new beta Coriolis site, and I was able to determine a better configuration using mostly resistance boosters and no heavy duties at all. So I decided to give that a try here, and I've configured the ship that way and come out to the RES site to do some combat testing. So that's what this episode is about, a little bit of combat testing, PvE combat testing in the Anaconda at a hazardous RES site with my new shield booster configs, and I'll show you that exactly how I set things up in a moment, and when you can see the effects that it has. I'm over here at the engineer again in beta. I did some more experimenting with numbers and stuff, and there's a very nice beta version of the Coriolis website that now has the correct numbers in it for all of this stuff, so I was able to go on there and play around to my heart's extent, play around to my heart's content extent. Anyway, yes, and I had fun with that, and yeah, it becomes more obvious how these things connect together. So what I ended up with there was I decided that heavy duty shield boosters really don't make any sense anymore. You're better off with just resistance guys. 4 A-class resistances and 3 E's. The reason I went to E's here is because once you've got 4 A's on there, adding more boost, shield boost, doesn't have much of an effect at all because of the cap. However, the resistances cap out a little bit later, so by adding resistances to these E guys, I wind up with not only very small mass and small power draw, but I get the effect of the resistances, which increases my effective shield strength by quite a lot. So having said all that, that's why I'm over here. I need to re-engineer some of these shield boosters so that I have resistance augmented on all of them, and I need thermal resistance on one of them. That was what I figured out gave me the absolute best numbers I could get out of it. So let's see. So I've got 3 resistance augmenteds now. I'm gonna roll this one as I have to go buy some fish. Yes, fish are required. Alright. Yes, it won't be this easy when we get to live, but that's why I'm doing it here, so I can experiment with it easily. Okay, shield boosters. So I want to roll my resistance augmented here. And try to get, as close to the 12.5 as I can. Okay, there we go. Put that on there. And then these guys also need to be resistance, except for one of them needs to be thermal. So we'll do 2 of these. Those were easy that time. And then this one wants to be thermal. Just to get that little hole in thermal up a little higher. Especially for PvE, where that's pretty much all you're going to encounter is laser fire at first. Oh, I actually got a little bit of other resistances too. Okay, put that on there. Okay. So, I now have all resistance augmenteds and 1 thermal, 4 A's and 3 E's. I left 1 utility slot open for my heat sink. Heat sink, in case I wind up having to use my shield cell bank. So all those resistances, of course, affect the shield cells as well. And I'll show you the website in a minute how this all adds up. What we'll see in game, however, is this. So I now have 59% resistance on kinetic, so that means I'm only taking 41% of the normal damage on kinetic. I've got 66.5 on thermal resistance, which means I'm only taking, whatever that adds up to, 33.5% damage on those, and then the shield is even better. So if I kind of multiply that out, I've got 982 megajoules of shields, right? And my resistance is 66.5, so 33.5. Is it equivalent? Well, I'm not sure how that works out. Let me do it on the website because trying to do it on my calculator doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, I'll be right back and I'll show you how this stuff all adds up and why I'm doing this. And then I'm going to take it out. We'll go to the Haz RES and test it and see what it's like. Alright, be right back. Okay, I'm over here on the Beta Coriolis site. This is just temporary, but it's got all the right numbers in it. You can see now that I've got my 4 Class A shield boosters, and I've got them all set to 12.5%, since that's about the best you can get. And I've got the 3 E's, 12.5%. And I've got an extra one in here that I'm not actually going to use. I got to put this there. Okay, so this is how it looks. Well, let me get rid of the shield cell because that's going to confuse things while I'm explaining it here. So the shield cell bank's off. Okay. So now you can see my shields, 906 megajoules, which sounds tiny. But the effective amount, because I'm only taking 41% of thermal, my effective shield strength is 2208 and 2303 for kinetic, and of course explosive even higher, but we don't really care that much about. Well, we do a little bit. Okay. Now notice that if I change one of these, so we have to remember this number, 2208. If I were to change, for example, this one, and I changed it to a heavy duty. Let's say that we changed it to a heavy duty. So we can do that pretty easily here by saying heavy duty grade 5, and then let's say we got the best possible heavy duty roll. You see? It was 2208, now it's 2266. So we only gained an eensy bit of effective shield strength. And because our resistance here went down. And of course now we have a much heavier piece, and it uses more power as well. So in all ways, it's like not really that effective. Once you have, like I said, once you have at least 3 of these, adding the 4th one, making it heavy duty, making any of these heavy duty doesn't increase things very much. It gets even more interesting once you put in a shield cell bank like this. So this has 1,872 megajoules of shield restoration that it can do. So you can add that back in, because you have 6 cells, each one is 312. So that gives me the effective shield strength here of 6608. That includes how much additional shield I would get by using these guys. Now if I change this back to the resistance mod with the class A, like I had before, 6777. So you see the difference is like tiny. The heavy duty doesn't matter now. Resistance, I think, has become king. So this is a pretty decent amount of shield that I'm bringing to the fight. So this is how I'm setting it up, and this is how I'm going to run it today in a test. So we'll go out to the Haz RES and let some people shoot at us and see how it all works out in there. Of course, now we don't know for sure what the numbers are going to be when it hits live, but this is how it is currently on the beta. So I'm going to use this setup today and go out and do a little shooting and see what happens. Alright, so I'm back here in the beta. I'm going to go over to Fong Wang because it's close by and I know there's Haz RES there. I'm not sure where the Haz RES will be. I think it might be all the way out here on number 10. Well, I'll mark number 10, and when we get there, we'll look for it. It's only 3 jumps from here. Alright, I'll be right back after I get over there. I'm over in Fong Wang now. I'm approaching the hazardous res site. Which side should I come? I guess this side. Fong Wang 8, by the way, is where it is if you happen to be out this way. now we're here. Let's hope we can find somebody worth fighting. Oh, there's an anaconda right away. Let's see what he is. That would be a good test. An expert. Alright, good enough for a test, I think. Oh, he's telling me he wants cargo and I don't have any. Alright, dude. Let's see what happens. Someone else went hostile on me. I think whoever the other pirate is now hostile on me. Interesting. So I've got two shooting at me. Besides this anaconda. I don't know what he's doing. He's just kind of sitting there. All his power plant's dead now. Okay. Where's the other guy? He disappeared. Oh, maybe it was a fighter. Was it a fighter that he launched? Might have been. Let's see. Who was it that said that to me? No, it was him. Okay, so he was asking me for 28 tons of cargo. So it must have been a... Now here's another guy. This Russell guy is telling me to drop cargo. There it is. Well, this is new. These guys didn't used to just attack if you had no cargo. Oh, I do have cargo. I have fish. That's what it is. I still have fish. I'm going to leave it there for now just to see how this turns out with everybody attacking me. The shield's held up fine to that anaconda, but he wasn't firing at me really. Where's the stupid eagle? There it is. No, I can't pitch that fast. Come here. Yeah, he wants 3 tons of fish. He's asking me. This can stop if you give me 3 tons of fish. My end is nigh when he's like got no shields and 2% hull. Okay, pretty funny. I still want something a little bit more effective to attack me so that I can... Oh, here's a Fer-de-Lance. That might be amusing. He's lost a ring of shields from somewhere. Not from me. He's fighting with somebody else. He's at least deadly. If I can get him to shoot at me, that would be interesting. I don't know where he's going though. Seems to be going away. I mean, he's getting farther and farther from me. I guess I'm not going to catch him either. Unless he comes back. Oh, here he's coming back now. I guess he's evading these other folks or something. we go. Deadly Fertilance. Well, this is significantly better than yesterday. I came out here yesterday with what I had, which was the heavy duties and not as much resistance as I have now. Oh look, everybody's after me. I think I have 3 of them on me right now. Too much fish. Too much fish in my barrel. That'll give me a chance to attempt to test out my shield cell banks. I brought them to test. If I was, I have to emphasize, this is not a combat build. This is still a multi-role build. Very much so. I stuck a shield cell bank in here, but that doesn't make it a combat build. This Anaconda is fighting me too. Let's try one of these shield cells and see what happens. That gave me back a ring. Jeez, everything's coming at me. Carrying fish is not a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna dump these stupid fish. Okay. The test is good, but I don't actually want to blow up here because then I can't keep testing. Alright, well, I was able to recharge my shields again. I'm out of stuff now, though. I think I still have 2 shield cells. But, or 1. 2 or 1. But I have no more heat sinks. I think I can actually probably fire one off without the heat sink. guy's shields are not going down very quick, are they? Well, this is a deadly anaconda, okay. Makes a little sense. Yes, that was funny. Okay, well, there we go. So, I would say that the resistance path, lots of resistances, and no heavy duties at all, is definitely more solid, at least in the current beta. So assuming this stuff goes live, that's how I will be reconfiguring my ship. Make it sturdier than it is without. Still not really as sturdy as it was, however. But yeah, but pretty good. Pretty good. So there we go. Successful experiment concluded.